Greetings again, Dan Halligan with Kayenta Games, and we have the final season of York versus Asquith. Did a seasonal market refresh and we got interesting things again. Not these first three. It's just not the time for service improvements and prestige rating of 2 and renovations. But the last three, holy smokies. Cabinet of Curiosities is the biggest prestige play you can make. I don't know if you're familiar with the Cabinet of Curiosities. You might Google it. It was the precursor of the museum where gentlemen would collect oddities and specimens from around the world and present them in a basement or in a room. Things like, two-headed snakes from Burma and so on. And the Lionheart Suite is a fascinating, highly ranked suite tile from the expansion that allows you to draw a prestige guest. And if that gets into play, you'll see the power of that thing. And then that is as important now as it was when we first realized that there was going to be a recalculation of essentials when we got to the final courtship. So let's move our first player marker. I should probably put it over here. Back over to Asquith, and let's take a look at our round track. We are ready to start with turn 13, but let us find out. Boy, the impact of this roll and how this final season plays out is huge. Look at that. Look at that. It's going to be a closed courtship. That's really cool. This is going to play out very interesting because everybody has to sort of hedge their bets. And note that hedging your bet on these three categories and making sure you develop them is as good as getting the final courtship category correct. So everybody's got to prepare for this national holiday. And I have a decent enough deck because I need 6 gentry. And I'm going to need service, but I'll tell you right now, what I'm thinking is rather than to pass to refresh my service, I'm thinking of using this so that I can get a functional turn in now. And let me take a look at my cards, and I'll be back at you. Well, I'll tell you what. You may be able to tell how much I enjoy my own game because I just conceived of a two-turn play leading into the National Monument for Asquith that I think is going to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat because I judge that York is ahead. Man, check this out. So we continue with our plan, which was to get into the drawing room by getting our reputation up to 3 here. So where was it? Crap. Where was that? I think that was there. And we're going to refresh our service. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Get a little bit too excited. Slide these guys here. Take that service there, and then I'm going to take the lady's maid, and I'm going to come down, and these are the 3 people I'm inviting to the to be visitors in the drawing room, newly refurbished drawing room. Delightful. And this play is going to be relatively modest, but wait till you see what happens next turn. So we have, money-wise, we have, need my glasses, 200. Gets me up to 300. Reputation-wise, we have 3. 1, 2, 3. And she can invite 2 or she can dismiss 1. And she is going to dismiss this cad who has -3 victory points. Sorry, Sir Bentley Churchill, you're gone. And we're done. Let's break it down. 300 pounds, we are not going to shop in the market. We're banking. So we come over here, turn 13 for York. We're going to refresh service. I'll tell you, I have respect for all the video reviewers out there because I just can't see what I'm doing and I knock things over all the time. Well, as clever as I was for Asquith, I got a bit of a disaster here for York. Of my remaining guests, I only had 5. 4 were ladies. All required service. Anything I did this turn, well, first of all, I don't have any lady service. But even if I started to try to use special actions to get lady service, it would simply gut the play at the national holiday. But unfortunately for the national holiday, I'm going to be forced to play a music room. Now, I've got a pretty good play in store, but that's not what you want for your national holiday. You're going to see what you want for your national holiday when you watch York this next, or Asquith this next turn. So I've got to pass. So I collect my deck. I recycle, just destroy all your guys. And I get 2. And we're over here. Let's go ahead and move up to the national holiday. Are you ready for something glorious? National holiday, as you know, prestige ratings and reputation do not matter. Anybody can come. Any event can be hosted. Naturally, we're hosting our afternoon social at the French Garden. I am going to use this favor. I'm going to turn it in up there, and it will allow me to refresh for those 3 victory points. Allow me to refresh my service for this afternoon social. Check out who's coming. We have the Rebecca, Dowager Countess Claire. The ill Dowager Countess Claire enjoys the very best connections. She, however, requires extra aid in the form of an extra lady's maid. Peter, Viscount Townsend. The Viscount is a superb and honored sportsman, having traveled to India to hunt big game. Let us put the young lady over here next to the prestige guest, because that will she will be enacting this admirer bonus. That's the young lady of the house, Dowager Countess. That is Count Hoyos, the one with all the connections, the mysterious Russian. And then there's the young man of the house. So let's go ahead and provide service. Now, I have to have the housekeeper help out the lady's maid there. I got a valet there. I've got another valet for Count Hoyos there. And we have provided service. Let us get it. We have it all. We have it all going on here. We need a footman up here. Let's start with money. Let's scan the ranks. We have 300. We have 400. We're going to take 100 there. That's 500. So we're going to get 500. Now we get to prestige, or to reputation. Admirer bonus kicks in. +1, that's 3. We took money from him, so we have 3. 1, 2, 3. Flip that over to 4. Remember, we are playing. Thank you for reminding me. We are playing an estate improvement, so we get another one. Let's take a look at our invites. We have a prestige guest, a casual guest, a prestige guest, a casual guest, and 2 more prestige guests. So we have 2 casual guests. We got to keep them both. Please be good. And the worst freaking casual guest. Oh my, what did I shuffle? Oh God, it's just terrible. It's only going to be offset by the joy of taking 4 prestige guests. I'm going to bring them down on the bar here. Oh, look at that, man. Just look at the victory points on that. It's 5, 7, 12, 14 victory points. I don't think I'll probably be able to play anybody because I'm going to be gutted as relates to service. But for a victory point play, absolutely huge. And we are done. Let's break this action down. Flip this over, which jacks the victory points there up to 7. Put every of these people in my discard pile. How about that? That's big time. Now, I have 800. That's 1,100. That's got frontside victory points for 700 of 4. That's got frontside victory points of 3. Man, I'm going to do this. Watch this. I'm getting this. That's 900. I have 5, 6, 7, 8. Giving up 2 for the extra 100. We're going to use that on the last turn of the season. That'll be great. National holiday for York. And it's not going to be a total disaster, but to be playing the backside of a music room for Gentry. Got the service for her. Put some footmen out for these guys. And I will put the butler out there. So let's look at our money. We have 100. We only have 100 pounds. And for reputation, 3, 4, 5. She is with him. He is a prestige guest. 6, 7. The admirer bonus kicks in. 8, 9, 10. 14 prestige. 1, 2, or reputation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14. Max reputation. Impressive indeed. Invites. We have 1 invite. This has been a traumatic experience. Trotwood is okay. And lastly, we get a victory point card from Agnes, the Marchioness of Easton. The well-known Marchioness hails from London and has an impeccable reputation. Big time. Oh, wow. That's the highest amount of victory points you can get in a victory point card. So, not a total waste. I would have liked a little bigger group for that national holiday, but we'll take it. Now, where we're hurting a little bit here, whoops, and I forgot to restock this. Where we're hurting a little bit here, billiards room, is with only 300, there's really nothing that's worth our time. So we're going to keep that 3. Oh, wait, there's 400. That's worth 2 victory points at the end game. And here we've got 1 victory point, none, -1. Yeah, I'm going to bank that. Last turn of the season before the courtship, we come back to Asquith, who's basking in the glow. Let's move all these people here, all those servants there. I do have that butler, which enables this, and I want you to check this out. Talk about a finish for Asquith, who I think was trailing. This is the Lionheart Suite, and you get to draw a prestige guest and double all favors. Service is not required. So that's 400 pounds and 2 more prestige guest invites. Another 6 victory points, and I get 400 pounds. How about that? Whoop, I can't put, yeah, they all go into the pile. I get 400 pounds, and I will bank that money. That right there is worth 2 victory points. Got the breakdown. Flip this over. It becomes a monument, which I will not be able to enjoy, but it looks good in my built-out country estate. Love it. All right, York, what's your response besides whimpering? This will be interesting to show you the power of reputation at the max level. So I'm going to come in with seems like a very modest play. I did rotate service, didn't I? I have the under butler here. And that modest play of a game of croquet, 300 pounds, and just the father and son playing out on the front lawn. But I get 600 pounds. So I'm going to take the money there. Plus this 3 is 900 pounds. This gets me the imported marble floor for 700 100 plus 300, 1,000. So I need an additional 100, but without even touching my reputation, because I'm maxed out. I just come down and I get to pay for that free. And that's not bad for a finish, to pick up that kind of victory points from the market. And now we come to our variable courtship revealing on the very last turn of the game. I'm telling you folks, this is everything. This little card here. Let's do the math afterwards when we do endgame scoring, and I bet you whoever wins this right now is going to win the game. Ooh, I didn't finish putting that guy back because that's important. So he does win. He'll just simply retain him and pick up another victory point card of 5. So that's interesting. So if you look at the profile of Charles and Elizabeth Fairchild, they like a traditional manor house, but they love the outdoors. In particular, even though they relish their elaborate dining rooms and libraries, you'll find them outside more often than not, either among their gardens or a particular love of theirs, which is the horses, the animals, being out on the hunt, playing some of the new lawn sports that have become popular. That's their profile. Those 4 cards give us a view into what they love. Okay, here's our score pad to figure out endgame scoring. We start out by calculating the improvement tile victory points for both York and Asquith. Add them up. 3, 11, 12, 13, 15, 17, 21, 27, 29, 32, 1, 3, 5, 8, 15, 17, 21, 26, 32, 34. Next, we calculate the the gentry victory points. That's our cards. I'm doing endgame scoring, and I know some of the fans have asked for appearances of the cats, but I'm sorry, you're gonna ruin the thing before I can get around to it. So we have 24 for the guests that generate endgame victory points in the upper right frame, -2 for unsavory guests. So we have 26 minus 2 is 24. So York has 43 for guests generating victory points, but he has 2 bad ones, including that one he picked up at the end, so -5 is 38. One of the reasons I constructed the score pad this way is I think it really builds some fun and some tension when calculating the endgame scoring to know how you're doing. So this is 56, this is 72, so we got a lead for York. Objective card victory points. For York, no monuments, 3 prestige tile, and 5 for the under butler. So York has 8. Over here, big play. 11 and 5 is 16, 17, 18, 19. Reputation victory points. Now this is where there's a difference. That's 28. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7. And this here is 10. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. See the significance of the high-end reputation? 28 to 10. 56, 64, 84, 92. 72, 82, 92, 99. We got a little bit of a game going on, and who's got more victory point cards? Service, 2 victory points per servant. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Wealth, victory points, 2. 0 for York, 2. Let's add it up. 106. 113. Hopefully I'm not making any math. Look at this. 6 and 4 is 10. 18. And I gave it away. Look at that. 124 to 113. Now remember what we said. Who won the final courtship would... Oh, and I missed 5 there. So they have 5 more. So they have 129. They have 23 there, 129 to 113. But look, for the last turn, they got 5 victory points here. And then they got, for the love interest, Charles Fairchild, they got 8. That's 13. So if you had a different combination come up with the 4th courtship, you would have had 13. That'd be 116 to 126. Didn't I tell you that the winner of that last courtship would likely win the game? There it is. 2-player game. York versus Asquith. A victory by family York, 129 to 113.